some reason, the entire time you were talking right then, Craig, I just pictured you, like, huddled in a corner with your Love Life figures, with a little sign above your head that just says, I came here to have a good time, and I feel so attacked right now.
Aww.
Listen, the only one that really gets me is Suki.
It's true.
Hey, I liked Love Live.
You did, but you are...
I'm a non-believer. Shun the non-believer.
I was gonna say,
Shun.
Craig, don't use the word filthy casual. Don't do it.
きっと約束だよいつかまた同じ笑顔で
Hello, and welcome to episode 36. Count it, 36 of Annie Chatbox. I'll be your host today, Cassie, and today I have a full house. I'm so excited. I'll have everybody introduce themselves in 1 second, but I did want to let you know that if you'd like, you can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/theanniechatbox, or you can shoot us an email at anniechatmail@gmail.com. We are also available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and if you'd like, you can throw a few, I believe Cammie called them shillings our way, at Patreon, at patreon.com/theanniechatbox. And that's basically everything you need to know about throwing money or throwing ideas or anything else you want our way. That being said, who's all here today?
Hello, I am the Brit. I am here. I am John.
I was about to say, does the
Hello.
Brit have a name? Are you just the Brit now when we talk to you? It's just like, hey, the Brit is speaking.
I am the Brit.
Speaking of the Brit,
hello.
speaking of the Brit, the closest one to him via an ocean is Cammie.
Ooh, new things we learn every day. Hello, you guys. I'll be honest, though. As soon as John said Brit, I was like, Britney Spears? I'm going to address him as Britney Spears from now on.
No.
So let's see. So we got England and then New England, and then we've got me and Craig being lame over here. But Craig's still here.
Hi, how's it going, Internet?
We're lame together. We don't have an England. We're just the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we want to be super lame, we could just be like, West Side, I guess.
You could?
That's all I got, guys. That's all I got.
I love the Northwest West Side. I'm good for that.
Yeah, man. I'm actually really excited because it's finally started cooling down here, and not everything is on fire. So that's a plus. That's a super plus. I can go outside without coughing super badly.
I'm happy to
that's
hear
great.
about safety. I'm glad you're safe.
Also, it's like 100 degrees everywhere else for the start of like fall for everyone, but here it's like 50. It's so nice.
I'm so jealous. It was like 88 today, felt like 93. Ugh.
Yeah. I think what the highest we got was like low 60s today. I'm in heaven right now, and Craig hates it, but I don't care. I don't care.
I
Actually,
really I miss that Oregon rain.
What about in your neck of the woods? How's the weather? John.
For me, yeah, I was about to say, it started cooling down, and it was like, wait, no, we're going to be hot again. I was like, for fuck's sake.
So basically, me, little old Cassie over here in Oregon, is more England than England is. Oh, what a shame.
It's cooling down again, but it's just like, it started cooling down, and then it just got hot again for no reason, and now it's cooling down again and going back on track, and it's like, can you just be nice and cool weather, please?
Or maybe England's just like, oh my gosh, we have a resident Jonathan who's just too hot to handle. We have to match him.
Oh, that's it.
Bam. See? I can have slick lines with boys too, occasionally. Anyway, we weren't here to talk about the weather or pickup lines. We are here to... Nobody else knows but me. So, as everybody knows, we have the fall season of anime coming up. It's coming up fast, and we're all super excited. And because we're all super excited, I decided to switch things up. Everybody came to this particular recording without knowing a clue of what choices they got for this year. For this year's fall season. So I decided to put every single one of their picks that they received, as I am the only one who knows because I'm a cheater, into little tiny bottles that I gave to each of them before we started recording. And they're only going to be able to open each of their bottles when I tell them to. Now, the good news is because I knew that they were going to be coming unprepared, each bottle will have the name of the anime that they got, where it fell in their list. So it's going to go from least wanted to most wanted. So their bottle number 1 will be their 5th pick. And I also went through the trouble of getting every single one of their synopsises for them. So they will be gifted both the name and the synopsis, whether it was a paragraph long or 3 lines long. Blame my anime list. But this being so, this is going to take up the entirety of the episode, so we'll have time to hear everybody's reactions, how happy or how sad they were about it, and then I'll have some statistics at the end, because there was one person in this group of people who ended up way luckier than everybody else, and for the first time, not everybody got their first choice anime.
No!
Oh.
So we won't know who until the end. So, that being said, heart attacks asunder, I'm going to go ahead and let Cammie open her first bottle. And when she does, it'll say what her number 5 is and the synopsis. And then she can say whatever she'd like about the show, whether she picked it for a specific reason. I didn't put the animation studio, but if she remembers it off the top of her head or wants to talk about it for a while, she's more than welcome to. Whatever she wants. But that being said, go ahead and open up that first bottle, Cammie. Let's go.
Okay, so bottle number 5, right?
Bottle number 1.
Oh, okay. I was like starting from the bottom, now we're here. Okay. Bottle number 1. All right. Oh, yay. Okay, I was really hoping I would get this one, and I'm not surprised that I did. My number 5 pick for this season is called Blend S. And the synopsis for Blend S is Sakura Nomiya is by nature a person with bad luck and always gets into trouble, but knows Dino, who manages a cafeteria. However, this is not any cafeteria, and the waitresses have to act according to their attributes. And I guess my anime list missed this little detail, but I will add it in. Our Sakura Nomiya, who appears very shy in the PV, takes up a job at this cafeteria, and her attribute is that she has to be a sadist.
Oh wow.
So I'm suddenly way more interested in this than I was when I first wrote it down for
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's it looks really fun. I wasn't really sold by this until I watched the PV and saw this sweet little girl that is really shy and tender, and apparently she has to learn how to act like a sadist, and the crazy manager guy just seems like a lot of fun. I want to say this is A1 Pictures, but I will check later and update you on that. I picked this show because it reminded me of a couple of shows that had similar premises of anime characters working, but unlike Shirobako Hanasaku Iroha Sakura Quest, they're a little bit ridiculous. Those shows would be working with exclamation points at the end, and a show called Servant X Service, and I loved both of those shows. And I was like, this show reminds me of that, and I'm all about a crazy cafe where characters have to act like emotos and sadists and masochists, and who knows, there's probably a Neko in there. So I'm hoping this is going to be really zany and just a lot of cute fun. Awesome. I'm so glad I got this one.
I think that I already know, if you pass it, or maybe just the day that we do the impression for it, we should, ahead of time, everybody should just give me random attributes, and I should just assign them to every single host, and we have to act that way the entire recording.
Oh my
That
god,
would
no,
be
we should
fun.
totally do that for an episode. That would be amazing. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take that and slip it into my back pocket.
Yes.
Don't let me forget, Cammie. This
Okay.
is your job.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's exciting. All right, so Craig, I think you are the next one. If I do remember correctly, I'm not going senile yet. But how about you go and open your bottle number 1 and tell us what your number 5 pick for the season is.
So number 5 is Food Wars.
Yay.
San no Sana Food Wars Season 3, aka Food Wars The Third Plate. Synopsis goes as such. Ever since he was a child, 15-year-old Soma Yukihara has helped his father by working in his family as a sous chef and the restaurant that his father owns. Throughout the years, Soma developed a passion for entertaining his customers with his creative, skilled, and daring culinary creations. His dream is to someday own his family restaurant as the head chef. Yet when his father suddenly decides to close the restaurant to test his cooking abilities and restaurants around the world, he sends Soma to Totsuki Culinary Academy, an elite cooking school where only 10% of the students graduate. The institution is famous for the shokugeki, or food wars, where students fire off their intense high-stakes cooking showdowns. Let's see. As Soma and the new schoolmates struggle to survive the extreme lifestyles of Totsuki, to move to greater challenges await them, putting his years of learning under his father to the test. Why did I pick this show? Because it's food porn, and it's animated by JC Staff, and it's beautiful. And also, Iron Chef is pretty cool. To see the dishes are pretty legit. Season 2 was pretty legit. It has tournament arcs of food. Enough said.
Okay, John.
Alright then, ball number 1.
The suspense.
My number 5 pick of this season is Black Clover.
Ooh.
The synopsis goes, Asta and Yuno were abandoned together at the same church and have been inseparable since. As children, they promised that they would compete against each other to see who would become the next Emperor of Magus. Emperor Magus, rather, not Emperor of Magus. However, as they grow up, some differences between them become plain. Yuno was a genius with magic, with amazing power and control, while Asta could not use magic at all, and tried to make up for his lack by training physically. When they received their grimoires at age 15, Yuno got a spectacular book with 4-leaf clover. Most people receive a 3-leaf clover, while Asta received nothing at all. However, when Yuno was threatened, the truth about Asta's power was revealed. He received a 5-leaf clover grimoire, a black clover. Now the two friends are heading out in the world, both seeking the same goal. This
is their goal to find more fluffed up shrubbery and flowers?
This was like a mishmash of multiple shonen creators, like from some of the big name shonen anime out there, like Naruto and I think Bleach was also one of them listed as involved. Just something about this really caught my attention, and I was like, maybe this will be something awesome, but then again, it could also end up being one of those, like, 5 million episode long series that I'm probably going to fall off of eventually, but we'll see. We'll start watching this and see how far I get into the series.
Honestly, John, I'm pretty excited for you. This, back when I worked at the library, and of course I spent way too much time shelving and fixing up the books in the manga section, this book there were always like dozens and dozens of volumes on the shelves, and it got very like heavily circulated too. So I know at least among like the young readers, the manga has a really good reputation. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be pretty good. I'm excited to know your thoughts on it.
I also vaguely remember coming across something by the author of Naruto, who when he said that he tried to do a sort of before he came up with Naruto, he tried to do something with magic that was sort of like Harry Potter inspired.
Ooh.
And he was just like he couldn't get the idea right, and so gave up on it and went on with Naruto. And this sounds a lot similar to the ideas he was throwing around. So I was like, maybe he finally figured out that idea and actually went ahead with it. And I'm happy for him if that is the case. So
Nice.
Can I make a request? The day that you do the impression for this anime, I want you to come in and just yell in your most British tone of British tones, "I demand a shrubbery." I need that in my life.
Nice reference.
I know, right? Has anybody actually watched all of the Monty Python's Holy Grail or whatever it's called all the way through?
Yes.
I have seen all of Monty Python, all of the Holy Grail one. Yeah.
I have only seen that movie in bits and pieces. I've never
really?
seen it all the way through. Every time it's being
pretty good.
shown, I only see parts, somehow. Maybe I have seen the whole movie just in parts. It's hard to tell.
Have you seen the zombie bunnies?
I don't recall the zombie bunnies. I do recall a shrubbery, and I recall something about a swallow carrying a coconut or something.
Oh, girl, we got a movie night coming up.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
What
it's so
is
good.
the wind speed
It's really
velocity of an unladen swallow?
There we go. All right, I suppose it's my turn, and I'm the least fun because I already know what all of mine are, but I can still have fun talking about them. So, my number 5 pick for the season is Netchu no Susume. And the synopsis for this one is Moriko Morioka is a 30-year-old single NEET, which is not an education. What is it? Not an education, employment or training? Yeah, that's
I
it.
believe so.
But yeah, she's a neat woman. After dropping out from reality, she has taken off in search for a fulfilling life and ended up in a net game or a netoge. In the netoge world, she begins her new life as a refreshing and handsome character named Hayashi. Meanwhile, while starting out as a beginner, a pretty character named Lily reaches out to her for help. Meanwhile, in the real world, awaits a shocking encounter with a good-looking elite company employee, a mysterious blue-eyed blonde. Dun dun dun! And I heard Cammie audibly reacting, because this is actually a show that was on both of our lists, and
Yes.
actually relatively in the middle, kind of high on both of them. So
Oh, nice.
I just got lucky. But I'll be curious if we picked it for the same reason. And the reason why I mostly picked this is it sounds like it's going to be an isekai show that stars a female. And that means a lot to me. And I want to know how it's going to go. Because a lot of isekai shows, which is, being a very normal person from a normal world and being dropped into a fantasy world or a video game, it's always a male character. Whereas this is not only a female, but also an older woman. She's 30 years old, so within our age group for the most part. So I will be interested in how she handles this, because it's not just, some teenager who can miss school. She's going to be missing work. So, but also I think it's implying that she is going to be one of the male characters. Because it says that she's beginning as a refreshing and handsome character named Hayashi. And handsome is not typically something that you accustom to a girl, so I'm hoping that she is one of the guys trying to get this girl. I don't know. The PV didn't really show me too much. So back to Cammie, you can open your bottle 2.
Bottle 2, okay. Bottle 2. Why don't I just leave Word open? Okay. All right. Number 4 pick. Hello, office. Okay. Ooh, okay. My number 4 pick, I am afraid to admit, when I first saw the title, I was like, what is this? And then I looked at the synopsis, and I was like, oh, this one, yay. Okay, this is called Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko, or Girl's Last Tour. The synopsis for this goes, civilization is dead, but Chito and Yuri are still alive. So they hop aboard their beloved
you got that one.
Kettenkrad motorbike and aimlessly wander wander the ruins of the world they once knew. Day after hopeless day, they look for their next meal and fuel for their ride. But as long as the two are together, even an existence as bleak as theirs has a ray or two of sunshine in it, whether they're sucking down their fill of soup or hunting for machine parts to tinker with. For two girls in a world of nothing, the experiences and feelings the two share give them something to live for, ... So this one, ... right? This one, have any of you watched the PV for this?
Yes.
I have, yes.
Was anyone else?
Really remind me of Maiden Abyss.
Ooh, yes. The thing that I found the most striking with this is the art style. The landscapes to me are very dark and desolate and complex, but the characters are so simple and just drawn with a very almost like comical or very cartoony vibe. And I love that contrast a lot. There's something about this that reminds me of like, it's anime, but it also reminds me of like European art house films. It's a weird like just like kind of dystopian but like quiet sort of looking series, and I was just really drawn into how unique it seems as a premise. And I also don't tend to watch a lot of things that are dystopian or have that sort of setting, but this also sounds like it's seeking out really the meaning of life, which to me is more of like the slice of life kind of Iyashikei sort of pace of a show. So I am really excited. This is going to be a unique ride. Yeah.
I'm
I feel you
excited
though, John.
for you. Also, this is another reason why the blind stuff is fun, because I expected things like John, like, oh, you got that one, because that's how close a lot of our lists were. There's only one person who did not have a very similar list, and we'll talk about that later on.
Okay.
Someone here got all 5 of their shows in a row. It wasn't me. So I'm excited about that one. That one does look really, really unique. And the premise actually reminds me a lot of another show that we'll probably be talking about later. So I'll save my words for then.
Yeah, I held off on mentioning that similarity that it reminded me of. So
yeah, I'm excited for that premise and for it being 2 people traveling together and experience. That'll be really cool, especially with its crazy fun art style. All right, Gregory, ready for your next bottle?
Yeah. So number 4 on my list here is Garo Vanishing Line. Synopsis goes as such. In a prosperous city named Russell City, an omen that threatens to shake its world begins to move within it. A man named Sword is the first to bear the first stirrings of the plot and throws himself into a shadow war in order to expose it. His only clue is the keyword El Dorado. He meets Sophie, a woman searching for her missing older brother, who only left her with the same words, El Dorado. With Sword having also lost his younger sister in the past, both are drawn together by the words and work together to find its meaning. So this is Garo, which, for those who don't know, is a tokusatsu show. It's an anime, and it's self-contained, according to from what John has said. It's all Studio Mappa. The PV is hype as fuck. So...
Ooh, I didn't know it was Mappa. Now I'm like 15 more times interested than I was 2 minutes ago.
So it's like an action... It's like a dark seinen, like beasts and whatnot, and men fighting beasts. So it seemed pretty interesting.
Ooh.
And the Mappa sells.
That promo art looks really cool, too.
Yeah, the PV was so hype, and I was like, this looks really interesting. Oh, it's Garo. I don't know anything about Garo, but I know it's a tokusatsu show. Friends who are more familiar with tokusatsu, what are your opinions of Garo? Do I need to be familiar with the franchise to get into a new series of Garo? And they said, nah, you could. You just go ahead and watch it.
If I can say one thing from my experience as an outsider with tokusatsu, it doesn't seem to be something that takes itself entirely too seriously. And I think Craig said that every one of the series seems to stand alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
That's what I've been told.
I literally just learned a new term. I'd never heard that before. Tokusatsu. Okay.
Have you
it's
seen
like
yeah, have you
Power
seen
Rangers.
Mm.
Kamen Rider.
Oh,
That's
there
Super
you go.
Sentai.
Common.
Kamen Rider, Ultraman. Yeah.
That's the tokusatsu genre. It's live, generally live action. So yeah.
Nice. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, John, I do promise that there are parts of your list that other people didn't get. To prove it, let's have you open your next bottle.
Alright. My number 4 pick this season, it is Hoseki no Kuni.
You
And
sound
I'm
so
actually
excited.
forgetting. Oh, it's this one.
I love that.
I was like,
There it is.
I actually forgot the. I was like, okay, I actually forgot the title of this one, but
What
yeah.
the hell? Did Cassie just go and pick a random anime and put it here? What is this?
Did you forget the Japanese name? Because that's what I do half the time.
In the distant future, a new immortal genderless life form called gems populate the Earth. The 28 gems must fight against the moon dwellers, who attack them regularly to abduct them and turn them into decorations. Each gem is assigned a role such as fighter or medic. Being only 300 years old, Phosphophilite, I think that's how I'm pronouncing it right, is the youngest of the gems and has no assignment yet. He wants to help fight the moon dwellers, but is too weak and brittle for battle. One day, the Master of Gems, Congo, which is adamantine, assigns him the task of creating a natural history encyclopedia. One thing about this series that I'm going to throw out there is that it is CG, but in particular, how they've done the hair on all the characters looks super pretty. Because everyone, all the characters, all the gems' hair represents sort of what gem they're supposed to be, I believe. And while it is obviously CG, it still looks really well animated from what I've seen of the PV, and just something about this description and what I saw in the PV just really grabbed me. It was like, this is a show that you will probably really enjoy. So, yeah. I've seen some CG that has made me feel like my eyes are gonna bleed, but this wasn't it. So it looks like pretty good CG. So yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to throw it out there that I am one of the most critical people of CG ever, and I watched the PV and thought it looked gorgeous.
Mm.
I hate CG.
You do.
But he's not underselling it. It's really pretty. Well, I guess it is my turn.
Yay.
So, okay, I really hope everybody laughs because I did when I read this. So, my number 4 pick for the season is Imoto Sai Ireba I.
Oh my God,
It'd be good if
Cassie.
only my little sister was here.
Cassie!
Hold on, let me read the synopsis, because this is fantastic. Okay, so, this is the story about the daily life of a young cis-con novelist, Itsuki Hashima, with his perfect little sister, Chihiro, the genius illustrator, Nayuta Kani, his best friend, Miyako Shirakawa, and some insane partners from his publishers. Okay, so this basically sounds like another Euro manga sensei, and I want to see this.
Everyone has the trash show.
As long as you're not hurting yourself or your soul, I am in support of this.
You seem to forget, I liked Euro manga sensei.
You did very much.
I think I liked Euro manga sensei more than any person is allowed to like Euro manga sensei. And this sounds like a clone, and that being said, maybe it'll be a good clone, maybe it'll be a bad clone, maybe Euro manga sensei was the clone. I don't know when each of them came out respectively with their source material, but I will say, I'm becoming the siscon person on the podcast, and I'm really okay with that.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got. That's the only reason I picked the show, because I read the synopsis and laughed really hard. I didn't even watch the PV.
Watch it be
Neither
the
did I.
like national treasure of the season, though. Again, just like
Watch it. Yeah, watch it. And actually watch it be, like, beautifully animated and actually be a really well-told drama. Like, watch. Just
Ooh.
watch. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It sounds like it's going to be a bunch of shenanigans, but we'll see. We'll see.
I call shenanigans. I also call opening bottle number 3. Am I allowed?
Yep, it's
Okay.
your turn.
Alrighty. Bottle number 3 here. What? Oh, okay. All right. So my number 3 pick for the season is Just Because. And the synopsis goes, at the end of the second semester of third year of high school, this is well written, 4 students are prepared for graduation and feel the ending to their high school life, period. They feel the ending to their high school life. But that changes a little with the arrival of a transfer student. Wow, can I sign up to be on Mal's, like, synopsis writing team? Okay.
I'm sorry, that is exactly what it was, and the PV does not give you much to go
No, I
off.
trust you. Trust me. I agree. Then if I'm being fully transparent about Just Because, most of my my interest in it is because I believe that I want to say the lead writer or director of this show, one of those two, is behind another show that I have a lot of love for, and that is Sakura so no Pet na Kanojo. Yeah, that was like, I literally just heard he was working on another project called Just Because that was going to be airing, and I was like, oh my god, I love Sakura so. I want to check this out. And I looked at the PV, and personally, I was a little bit underwhelmed by the animation, but I do think it's done by a studio that is relatively new and hasn't done too much stuff. So that will be interesting. I am really hoping this is going to give me that great character writing and all of the feels, painstaking as some of them may be, some really good like love lines, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. Sweet.
Is it weird that, because Just Because is one that I watched the PV for, and I'm assuming that John watched the PV for too, because both of us had this on our list as well.
Mm-hmm.
However, for me, I watched it, and the reason why it wasn't as high was because the animation, like, really reminded me of when I watched Tsuki ga Kirei.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I was like,
Yeah, you're like, pull away. Girl, I don't blame you. That show traumatizes.
But hey, this show was actually relatively high on your list, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint you.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Like I said, I'm putting a lot of trust because I really love Sakura so. But if it ends like Sakura so ended, I might be let down again. Hopes and dreams crushed. But yeah, that's
what anime's for giving and crushing every single one of your dreams.
Exactly. All right, but cool. I'm excited.
All right, Craig, ready for your next botir?
Yep. Okay. So, the bottle for the second pick here is Love Live Sunshine, second season. Speaking of CG that could break everyone's eyes and make them bleed. Synopsis goes as such. Chika Takumi, a self-proclaimed normal girl, has never been involved in any club or has any notable talents. However, after a visit to Tokyo, she discovers a stage where even an ordinary girl like her could shine. Kira Kira.
Kira Kira.
The world of school idols. Inspired by the former superstar school idol group Muse, Chika is determined to start her own school idol club in her seaside hometown of Unahoshi Girls High School. But even before gathering any students to join said club, the aspiring school idol finds her greatest obstacle to be the student council president, Dia Kurosawa. Huh, that sounds familiar. That stands firmly against the creation of the club. Wonder where we've seen that before. Just when it seems that there's no hope, Chika meets Riko Sakurauchi. Sakurauchi, a transfer student from Otonoki. God, I try saying this one. Otonokizaka high school home of Muse. Somewhat shy, but a talented piano player, Chica believes her to be a promising recruit, though convincing her may proved to join may be easier said than done. In spite of that, Chica chooses to charge forward and overcome the obstacles keeping her from forming a school idol group that shines as bright as the 9 that came before her. So I picked this because I have trash taste, and I don't care what anyone says, and the second half of Love Live Sunshine Season 1 was actually decent. The first half of Love Live Sunshine Season 1 was a carbon copy of the original, and it's kinda... a lot of people did not really care for it to essentially ride on the coattails of greatness. But we're going to see if Season 2 continues the trend of greatness that was the lesbianism of Season 1.
For some reason, the entire time you were talking right then, Craig, I just pictured you, like, huddled in a corner with your Love Live figures, with a little sign above your head that just says, "I came here to have a good time, and I feel so attacked right now."
Aww.
Listen, the only one that really gets me is Suki.
It's true.
Hey, I liked Love Live.
You did, but you are...
I'm a non-believer. Shun the non-believer.
I was gonna say,
Shun.
Craig, don't use the word filthy casual. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Cass is a filthy casual.
Also, I find it hilarious that Just Because had literally a sentence and Love Live Sunshine has like 4 paragraphs.
Yeah.
I do too. Well,
I'm actually excited to see how you feel about this, Craig, because I know that you say most people didn't like the beginning of Season 1 of Love Live Sunshine, but I know you didn't either. So there must have been something that made you want to see the sequel. And I'm excited to find out what it is.
I hope they find something enjoyable in it, because I've been meaning to watch Love Live myself. I started watching Love Live, but then I just kind of lost track of it and
Craig,
never got around to it.
I have high hopes that you will get a Season 2 of Parfait Eyes.
I hope Parfait Eyes are just galore.
Yes.
If you can find somebody in the cast of Love Live Sunshine who has as intense of Parfait Eyes, nay, ganache eyes, or strawberry pie eyes, I don't care. If you can find somebody in that cast, I will watch Love Live Sunshine. And I will
Ooh,
enjoy it.
nice.
Find me them, Craig. Find me.
Okay.
Alright, bottle number 3. Well, this is a short synopsis. Robot Masters! Nice. Synopsis goes, the series will depict college students as they prepare and participate in Robot Masters tournament. That's it.
Nice.
It is a single sentence. This looks like Robot Wars the anime, and I love me some Robot Wars, so... or BattleBots as it is in America, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah. It's still
So, this is, it's RoboMasters is robot fighting tournament, but like modern day robots, things that you will actually likely see when someone says, "I built a robot. Here it is."
Like they build it with a refrigerator or something?
Some of them might be. I know in Robot Wars some of them are. Where did you get the materials? So, I know some of the robots in this are going to be drones, which did start appearing in BattleBots. I think they're still not allowed in Robot Wars, but anywho, yeah. I saw this and I was like, it's Robot Wars, the anime! On my list it goes.
Nice.
That sounds legit.
Yes.
So yeah.
I'm excited you're excited about it.
When making everybody's list, I was like, if for some reason somebody puts this as their number one for some reason and takes this away from John, it will be a travesty. Because I just see robot and I'm like, well, there
John.
it is. There's the John. There's the John pick of the season. In a good way.
There was
in the
other
best
robot
way.
anime. There was other robot anime this season that I was just like, nah.
But this has
I'll pass on
robot
this
in
one.
the name, John. All in caps as well, if I remember.
It might have been, yeah.
All right. My dearest Cassie, I think, is up next.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I'm going to go open my third bottle, not my second one, because I suck at this. So, my number 3 pick for the season is Animegataris, which is a anime that centers on Minoa Asagaya, a new high school student in Sakeneko Private High School. Despite being a novice to anime, Manao's classmate Arisu Kamegusa invites her to make an anime research club at school. Through conversations with her classmate, Miko, as well as various anime-loving upperclassmen, gradually get hooked on anime. While they stand against the student council's continuous efforts to disband their club, and they ignore the impending end of the world, they talk about anime, whether in Akiba or in real-life sacred place anime settings or at the hot springs. So, the reason that I picked this show is because I'm not expecting a lot, but I think that it's really cute that they have an anime about a bunch of nerds getting together and trying to learn more about anime.
I totally missed that impending end of the world thing when I was looking at this show. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a real thing or they actually think that, like, the world is... I'm not sure.
Like, Cassie, this could be the next, like, Gakko Gurashi.
That would be fantastic. Because if there's one thing that Gakko Gurashi did well, for all the problems that I had with that show, the first episode was one of the most perfect setups to a horror show I have ever seen. And I would love to see something do that again. However, I don't know if that's the kind of show this is going to be or not. I just think it's going to be about a bunch of, like, I don't know, people trying to get people into anime. And also, I thought it might be fun to do a podcast about an anime, about people sitting around talking about anime.
I dig.
Excuse me.
I hope it's amazing.
I'll just play. I'll play the Inception noise.
Yes.
We could go another level deeper. One of the anime they could end up talking about in it is Genshiken.
Ooh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so meta. I dig it. Alrighty.
All right, so now we're on to our next round, the next to last, and this is where things are going to get super fun, I think.
Okay.
So
I'm a piece of shit! Okay, alright.
What?
Alright.
What?
I'm sorry. Was I allowed to
that was
open
not what I
bottle
was
4?
expecting.
Because I opened bottle 4. I'm sorry.
You're supposed to open bottle 4.
Okay. Oh god, look at the levels on my screaming. Sorry. Okay, so...
Why are you calling yourself a piece of shit?
Because I know that you and I both really wanted this one.
And that's okay.
Okay. I also know that you'll be watching it with Teresa, so that makes me happy. Wait, we're all watching it together.
We're
I
watching it
forgot.
together. So you know what? I actually, I'm not salty.
Okay.
I'm more salty towards somebody else, but we'll wait till later to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm
All
really
right.
curious now.
So am I. Anyway, so this pick, my second pick for the season is Mahotsukai no Yome, or the Ancient Magus's Bride. And I'm going to be real with you guys right now. I watched PV1 back in the fall season last year. I think I watched it after I watched the first episode of Izetta the Last Witch. And I just was head over heels in love with it. Like the art, the mood, the characters, the subtle little sweetness, the sound effects. I was so in. Like, I could pull Get in here for a testimony of how much I would not shut up about like how wonderful everything was, and it made me feel happy and like I was watching a Disney movie as a kid again. So anyway, that being said, let's get to the synopsis. So Hattori Chise is only 16, but she has lost far more than most. With neither family nor hope, it seems all doors are closed to her, but a chance encounter began to turn the rusted wheels of fate. In her darkest hour, a mysterious Magus appears before Chitose, offering a chance she couldn't turn down. This Magus, who seems closer to demon than human, will he bring her the light she desperately seeks or drown her in even deeper shadows? All right, so yeah, sounds pretty dang cool. And like I said, after just seeing the prequel, the first one, there are 3 of them out, I was in love and I wanted more. So I've been on this hype train for about a year now, and I am so fucking excited. All right.
Yeah. I think all of us are excited about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super hyped. I think I missed it and didn't put it on my list, but
I think it was on your list. I think. I can go check. Hold on. Actually, no, I can't check. I'm on Craig's laptop. I'll check later. I actually still have the original Excel file, so after we stop recording, I can take a screenshot or just send you guys the Excel file and show you how close everybody's picks were.
I know that, Cassie, you and I were probably, like, head-to-head. That's why I'm like, but yes.
So
I will definitely be watching this with everyone anyway.
Yeah, no, like,
which is why I am hoping it doesn't horrifyingly let all of us down, but I highly doubt it. This is one of the most anticipated ones, I think, in general, like for the season. So
it's also done by Wit, Studio Wit, who did Attack on Titan. So more hype.
Yep.
All right, Gregory.
Battle 4, AK. The penultimate choice in the tier list is Infinite T-Force. So the synopsis says, the manga follows a young girl who summons a team of superheroes to save others. The anime adaptation will not adapt the story correctly. Promotional materials indicate heroes from other Tatsunoko properties such as Tekkaman, Casshern, Gatchaman, and Hurricane Polymer franchises will appear. So basically, it's Tatsunoko Productions and all of their like 60s and 70s superheroes all teaming up in a CG-looking show. However, the CG looks tight, and Tatsunoko, they obviously back in the heyday did pretty good stuff last time they tried to do a Gatchaman IP. Didn't fare so well, so let's hope that they get this one good, okay?
Just very quickly, Craig, you do have a bottle 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, you said this was the pinnacle of your list, so I was
worried. No, the penultimate.
Okay, I was worried for a second. Oh God, did I not give everybody 5 choices? That'd be terrible.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
I would cry.
Aww.
But did you say that that there's somebody who's summoning these superheroes?
Yeah, it's from what it's saying, a young girl who summons a team of superheroes to save others. Apparently, this adaptation, because it's based off a manga from what it's saying here, and the anime, like the PV, just showed a bunch of the superheroes all teaming up and fighting crime and whatnot. It didn't show the girl or anything like that. Either way, it does look pretty interesting.
I wonder how she's going to summon them. Like, is she actually going to physically summon them from, like, a comic book? Or is she going to summon them as in she sends them a fax? Like...
I don't know. It's possible. She could send them a nice worded email. Be like, please, save my country because it is in danger. Okay, thanks, bye. I have cookies.
And Cammy's like, listen, I can't save your world, bro. I'm trying to handle small children right now. Please leave a message after the please save me, they're nightmares.
Yes, verbatim, that's it.
Alright.
John's turn.
John, are you excited for your bottle 4?
Yep. What is in bottle number 4? What is my second pick? It is... Yuki Una wa Yusha de Aru, Yusha no Sho. AKA Yuki Una is a hero.
Oh, nice.
There's actually 2 6-episode series of Yuki Yuna. I only actually listed one of them rather than both of them, because I think it's going to be one of them and then the next one, so just count this as both of them.
Hopefully it leaves a good impression.
In her everyday life, Yuna Yuki is a hero. As proof, she is in her middle school's hero club, where she does her best to help others and bring a smile to everyone's face. But Yuna, always up to any task, is about to become an even bigger hero. Mysterious, destructive forces called Vertexes begin threatening the world she loves, and the Hero Club is called upon by a strange phone app to save it, along with her best friend Mimori Togo, as well as sisters Fu and Itsuki Inubozaki. They must transform into magical girls in order to battle the Vertexes. It sounds so weird saying that, but that is definitely how it's written. In between studying and putting on shows for kids, Yuna and the Hero Club must fight for the very existence of their world and face the harsh truths behind their own powers, all the while discovering what it truly means to be a hero. I will admit I've never actually seen any of Yuki Yuna as a hero, but it just keeps on coming up, and I'm like, I really need to watch this series at some point. And oh look, there's more Yuki Yuna as a hero coming up. I really need to watch more of Yuki Yuna as a hero. So I may have just shot myself in the foot and put myself in a long haul for a series I'm going to absolutely hate. But hopefully that's not the case.
John has not committed to just watching 3 episodes of a show. He is committed to watching an entire first season and 3 episodes of a show.
What a champ.
Exactly. Another thing about Yuki Yuna as a hero that caught my attention, that actually made me... one of the other reasons what made me really want to watch it, and I will admit this is a kind of shallow reason, but when it came to the light novels, the person that did the illustrations for Yuki Yuna as a hero is the same person that did the illustrations for Sword Art Online. So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I actually think that that's not a superficial reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same reason as us picking an anime for a studio or a director or anything. Now, if you said, hey, I picked this show because the titties on this girl look real fine.
Them anime titties?
Which I still wouldn't have judged you for. But no, I think that's actually really cool.
Quite hyped for this. Although I get also kind of a daunting task in that, but I've got to watch the first season first as well.
That is dedication.
All on Netflix.
Well, to be fair, this is like clue number 6,542 that John is a masochist, because this was like number 2 on his list. Or 3 or something. So he wanted to do this to himself.
Wow. All right, so if you go to this cafe, I know who to send you to, John. Okay, all right, moving on.
My bottle 4.
Yes.
Okay, so my number 2 pick for the season is Osama Game, the animation, or King's Game, the animation.
Ooh.
So Nobuaki Kanzawa, who transferred to a high school far away, is afraid of getting intimate with his new classmates because of the events that happened from his previous school. This led him to shut his heart. However, he starts to open up during the school's sports festival, Relay. He and his classmates received an email from Osama. At first, his classmates didn't take what they were told seriously, thinking of it as just a joke. But Nobuaki, the only one who knows the real meaning of it, fights against the death game that will soon begin. The rules of the King's Game are as follows. 1. All class members must participate. 2. The orders sent by the king through email must be followed within 24 hours. 3, a punishment will be given to those who do not follow the order. And 4, quitting the game halfway is forbidden. So I picked this because it sounds like Danganronpa, and I like that kind of stuff. And I really wanted a show, because here's the thing, we're watching this during fall. We're watching all these shows during fall, and I really wanted one show that seemed like a horror show. That seemed like the spirit of Halloween even. And it's like, okay, stupid death game. Probably lots of terrible murders. And the PV was covered in lots of terribly animated blood. So I'm actually going into this with not super high hopes, but I put it super high on my list because I think I personally will love the shit out of this.
I'm curious now. I think I totally missed this one too when I was going scanning through pics. So
it's definitely interesting. It doesn't look like it's going to be beautifully animated or anything, but it looks like it's going to be I don't know. I like anime that really try to tip towards the psychological when it comes to horror. Things like Higurashi Nanaku Kuruni. And lately, things with like Another and more recent horror anime have not been very good, I feel, in delivering that kind of psychological, I don't know, impact. And this sounds like a very typical death game kind of anime, but maybe they'll throw a twist in it that's interesting. I also like that the whole premise is the King's game, which if you've ever heard of anime, it's that somebody gets to be the king and they'll say, okay, number 2, because everybody has like a number, you have to do this. Or, hey, number 3 has to kiss number 4, which always seems to happen in anime. So I think it'll be interesting that they're really utilizing another game for this death game instead of just go kill each other.
I also think it's pretty cool you have a spooky show right around Halloween time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to the last round. This should be the funnest round for everyone.
Get hype.
I'm a piece of
Bottom
shit.
of the
Okay, yes. All right. Okay. So
Stop saying that about everything you're happy about.
I'm really happy about it, but I'm also sorry. This is how we do things. Okay. So my number 1 pick for the season is Sangatsu no Lion Season 2, or March Comes in Like a Lion Season 2. Oh my fucking god, this show is wonderful. Having reached a professional status in middle school, Rei Kiriyama is one of the few elite in the world of shogi. Due to this, he faces an enormous amount of pressure, both from the shogi community and his adoptive family. Seeking independence from his tense home life, he moves into an apartment in Tokyo. As a 17-year-old living on his own, Rei tends to take poor care of himself, and his reclusive personality ostracizes him from his peers in school and at the shogi hall. However, not long after his arrival in Tokyo, Rei meets Akari, Hinata, and Momo Kawamoto, a trio of sisters living with their grandfather, who owns a traditional wagashi shop. Akari, the oldest of the 3 girls, is determined to combat Rei's loneliness and poorly sustained lifestyle with motherly hospitality. The Kawamoto sisters, coping with past tragedies, also share with Rei a unique familial bond that he has lacked for most of his life. As he struggles to maintain himself physically and mentally through his shogi career, Rei must learn how to interact with others and understand his own complex emotions. Why did I pick this show? Have you been listening to our past episodes? For Cassie and myself, this show is one of the... Cassie, would you say it was like our number 1 of last fall season? Like,
yeah,
or top tier.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was top tier.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And again, I love anything that Chika Umino writes. She is the author of the original manga, and this show is absolutely fabulous, and I am so excited for more. Oh my god.
I think we're all excited.
Yes.
Me especially, too. I'm so excited.
Cassie, watch with me. Watch with me.
I will.
Yes.
I will.
Watch parties. I dig.
All right, Craig. Let's find out what your number 1, your number uno is.
Numero uno, the ultimate, the finality of my list. Kekai Sensen and Beyond, aka Blood Blockade Battlefront Season 2, Blood Blockade and Beyond. Synopsis goes as such. Supersonic monkeys, vampires, talking fishmen, and all sorts of different supernatural monsters living alongside humans. This has been part of daily life in Salem's Lot, formerly known as New York City, for some time now. When a gateway between Earth and the beyond opened 3 years ago, New Yorkers and creatures from the other dimension alike were trapped in an impenetrable bubble and were forced to live together. Libra, a secret organization composed of eccentrics and superhumans alike, are tasked with keeping order in the city and making sure that chaos doesn't spread to the rest of the world.
Ooh, that sounds pretty intense.
Pursuing photography as a hobby, Leonardo Watch is living a normal life with his parents and sister. But when he obtains the, quote, all-seeing eyes of the gods at an expense of his sister's eyesight, he goes to his Hail Salem's lot in order to help her by finding answers about the mysterious powers he's received. He soon runs into Libra, which Leo unexpectedly joins their ranks. He gets more than what he bargained for. Kekai Sensen follows Leo's escapades in the strangest of places on Earth with his equally strange comrades, as the ordinary boy unwillingly sees life take a turn for the extraordinary. So, it says something when friend of the show, Zach, actually likes the show, and he's not the biggest fan of anime. He described it, and I agree with him that...
Those are loud children.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Jeez.
They are also very excited about Kekai Sensen Season 2.
Oh my god.
But continue. Go on.
So, Blood Blockade Battlefront, Season 1. As I said, it's essentially New York City, but it's extraordinary. It has like this mystery of the week sort of vibe, while having an underlying through line with a villain that's amassing power in the city, and it's up to Libra to essentially stop problems while trying to uncover this major problem. I'm very curious to see how Season 2 handles things. Full disclosure, without giving too much away, there are parts of Season 1 that are filler and not a part of the original manga / source material, despite that, kind of like Noragami in that sense, but despite that, I'm very curious to see what they will do, or if they will address these filler additions from Season 1. Either way, animated by Bones, so you know it's going to be done very good, and it's just fun. It has a weird blend of comedy and pretty cool action set pieces, so that's why I liked it, and I'm very stoked.
I'll honestly be really excited if it passes. I feel like Kekai Sensen is one of those shows that just like fell off my radar, but I feel like is really, really good and one that I should get around to watching, you know? So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I never heard of it before, so
I
yeah.
went
Mm-hmm.
and was going to watch it, and I didn't. Not because of any reason in particular. I've actually heard it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I've heard the ending isn't necessarily the best, but I've heard that the ride is amazing. And I just haven't got around it. So we'll see. Maybe Craig will give us all the push we've all needed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's possible.
And I shook my desk because I'm so excited for John's bottle number 5.
Alright, bottle number 5. Let's see. What did I get? Oh, I'm the one that Cassie's bitter about, aren't I?
Just a little. It's okay. It's okay.
I got Kujira no Kora wo Sajo ni Utau, or Children of the Whales.
Ooh. Ooh.
The synopsis goes.
Yeah, damn, John. Whoa.
I'm sorry.
I almost forgot that show existed. Damn, John.
The synopsis goes.
I gotta be totally honest. I don't know what show this is, and I'm.
It's a show that I've been super hyped for.
Yeah.
And I actually mentioned to John offhand about it being absolutely gorgeous, and this fucker put it as number one.
Yeah, no,
And
for
guess who
real.
else put it as her number one? And guess who had to do a dice roll and stay fair to her rules?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's really okay. I got another one for my number one, but this is hilarious. But no. Tell everybody listening about the show, because it sounds like it's going to be good.
Chakaro is the 14-year-old archivist of the Mud Whale, a nigh-utopian island that floats across the surface of an endless sea of sand. 9 in 10 of the inhabitants of Mudwell have been blessed and cursed with the ability to use Simia, a special powers that doom them to an early death. Chakaro and his friends have stumbled across other islands, but they have never met, seen, or even heard of a human who wasn't from their own. One day, Chakra visits an island as large as the Mud Whale and meets a girl who will change his destiny. This series looks really, really pretty and sounds really interesting, sounds awesome, and the art style actually reminds me of a Tales game. Specifically, it reminds me of Tales of Symphonia in a way.
Good game.
With the art design, anyway. And so, yeah, I kind of ended up putting it on the top of my list and didn't actually mean to steal it from Cassie. I probably should have put it second, but
No, it's
it's
okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is it?
These things are fine.
Are they?
Everything's
If it's any consolation, it's Netflix grabbed. So I mean, that always sucks.
oh,
You know? Yeah.
but no. At the end of the day, we're all probably gonna watch these shows anyway.
Damn
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah. But I will say, because you picked this show, that means that 30-year-old girl Neat actually ended up on my list. So.
Silver linings.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think I know
Yeah,
what Cassie's number one is. I'm excited.
I think everybody knows what Cassie's number one is. Okay, I will go and open this. I actually put this show number 2 on my list simply because there was one show I was a little more hyped for. And I also was pretty sure that nobody was going to take this away from me. And thank God nobody did, or I may have actually cried. And that is Kino no Tabi, The Beautiful World, the animated series. So Kino's journey employs the time-honored motif of the road trip as a vehicle for self-discovery and universal truth. Deeply meditative and cooler than Zero, whatever that means, the series follows the existential adventures of the apt markswoman Kino, along with her talking motorcycle Hermes, as they travel the world and learn about themselves in the process. Imaginative, thought-provoking, and sometimes disturbing, Kino's journey is a documentation of an episodic style with an emphasis on atmosphere rather than action or plot, though still prevalent. So, I loved Kino's journey when I was in high school. It was one of my favorite animes back in the day, and it still holds a really, really important place in my heart. And so when I found out that it was getting a special treatment this fall, I was so excited. I don't think I've actually audibly screamed about a show in a long time. And I'm just so excited to be able to share my thoughts with you guys about this show, because it's definitely one that I thought I was going to have to save for a host choice in the far off future. Little did I know, I can cheat and make you guys watch it right now.
Awesome.
Because I'm really, really, really hoping that they do this series a service. And if they do a really, 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 really good job, I look forward to talking about it in the future. And I think that this is actually a show that a lot of us would really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to most of the other stuff on my list being very, very Cassie oriented. I feel like this one is, as the synopsis said, it's very thought provoking. And surprisingly, I'm not really a big fan of episodic style shows. I never have been. But this is one of those few ones where I did, because the episodic nature of it is part of the plot.
Yeah.
Kino's, this isn't really much of a spoiler because it's something you're introduced to in the first episode, I'm assuming. We'll find out. But she only stays in a town or a city for 3 days. That's the only amount of time that she'll let herself stay so she doesn't get attached. And in that way, she's able to go through and meet all of these different people at all of these different places without being really burdened by being tied down. And I think that's really important and cool. And I'm going to stop talking about Kino's journey now. Anyway.
I'm excited.
So, I'm excited for this anime season. It's going to be
I
fun.
started watching Kino's Journey on DVD here, but I could never find anything beyond Volume 2 for some reason. And I was super bummed because I never got to finish watching it. And now it's getting a new series, and I'm like, yes! More Kino!
I'm very excited. It's going to be fun. And I think that all of us had really, really cool picks.
Yes.
Spoiler, Craig got his entire top 5.
Nice.
Probably because 4 out of the 5 were sequels.
Yep.
Or sorry, 3 out of the 5 were sequels.
And that's why I think she said this to me like a day or so ago, and I'm like, I guarantee it's mine because all mine are sequel, and no one bothered to I know no one watched Blood Blockade or Food Wars, or Love Live, so yeah, I'm golden.
That's awesome.
I did have both of Craig's other picks on my list, but they were admittedly a lot lower on my list. Although I think Gara was higher than the other one.
Well, I will go ahead and I will send you guys the document once we're off the air. And I think that we need to show Craig the PV for Children of Wales because it's breathtaking.
Oh, yeah.
But regardless, I think that we all are really excited about our picks. I hope that the calling of ourselves of pieces of a shit was excitement and not just happiness.
It was.
And hey, if anything, John getting the show that I wanted the most shows that I am never, ever actually rigging this.
True.
Actually, what's really funny is that the way that I do the dice roll is that I said, okay, Craig, pick a number between 1 and 5. And then I had him pick a number between 1 and 10, and then a number, I think, between 1 and 20. And I gave, like, John the first couple numbers and me the last couple numbers. So that way, technically, Craig picked who got the anime.
GG.
So
I was playing Destiny when she said this. I'm like, number, oh, okay, and continues to play game.
Yep. So it was completely randomized. You won it, but you actually won it, and you get to watch it, and I'm happy for you. And I'm excited to hear what everyone says about all of their animes and to see how many of these sequels pass.
Full transparency, I had a really, really bad day today and came home in a terrible mood and depressed. And now I am so happy because I got to spend time with my favorite people and I got a great roster of impression anime coming up. So,
Yay.
I'm excited. That being said, I think that actually wraps up everything that I wanted to do today, unless somebody else has something that they want to say or talk about for 3 minutes. But
Nope.
Definitely just let us know via email or YouTube comments some shows that you're looking forward to, especially if we missed any on our list. Again, get in contact with us, guys. We really want to talk with you. That's my plug.
There is... this season, my list was full to the brim with series that I was hype about, and as probably noted by my audible reactions to everyone else's picks, because this season is looking so good, and picking a top 5 was hard. So, yeah, really happy about my picks. If there's something else... again, you're more hyped for that somehow didn't end up on any of our lists, feel free to yell at us and tell us how big idiots we are for overlooking this gem that you have holding in your hands, or whatever you may. So yeah.
And before we go out, I might have everybody reopen their bottles really fast just so we can say the titles really fast.
Sure.
I'll go first because I was the one who went ahead and did it. So my number 1 was Kino no Tabi, The Beautiful World. My number 2 was Osama Game or King's Game, the animation. My number 3 was Anime Gataris. My number 4 was Imoto Sai Ireba I, or It'd Be Good If Only Little Sister Was Here. And lastly, Netju no Susume.
Nice. Okay. I can go next. My bottle number 1 is March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 2. I'm going from top pick down. Then my second pick is Ancient Magus Bride. My third pick is... Which one? I'm out of order. Just because.
That's okay.
But just because. My fourth pick is Shoujo Shu Matsuryoko, or Girl's Last Tour. And my fifth pick is Blend S.
Okay, I'll go next. My top pick is Kujira no Kora wa Sojo ni Utao, aka Children of the Whales. My second pick is Yuki Yuna wa Yusha de Aru, or Yuki Yuna is a hero. Then it's Robo Masters, the animated series. Then it's Hoseki no Kuni, which I don't actually know what the English title of that is, unfortunately. And then lastly, Black Clover.
And rounding up the list, I have Blood Blockade Battlefront. For my number 1, we have Infinity Force. For number 2, for number 3, we have... Just a second here. Computer's now
Love
glitching
Live
up.
Sunshine was the next one.
Love Live Sunshine. And then number 4 is Garo Vanishing Line. And number 5 is Food Wars Season 3, the third plate.
Also, much thanks for our lovely producer for putting together our impressions this time. She pulled the wool over our eyes, and we had no idea about this surprise main topic going in, and I think it turned out really well. So thank you, Cassie.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now I secretly wonder if every time Cammie got her assignments beforehand, her response was, I'm such a piece of shit. I'm such a piece of shit. Like, did she just, do that for, a week before we recorded?
You know,
yeah. Before she got here.
Especially not last season, because I knew no one else was really hoping for Dive, and thank God nobody wanted Dive. I just knew this was a really good season, so I was like, any good shit I get makes me a piece of shit.
All right. Well, either way, it was fun hearing everybody's reactions and how excited everybody is for their shows, and I guess we'll see you guys next week. Oyasumi!
Bye, y'all!
Bye-bye!
Peace.